You are listening to Season 2 of The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, the short and often daily podcast in which I chronicle my life and attempt to be a writer by writing daily. Sometimes. Hello, today is Tuesday the 12th of August 2025 and you're listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. And the first thing I'd like to do is apologise for yesterday's unscheduled day off. So obviously I've come back from Singapore, big time difference, and I've been there for effectively in a time zone like that for nearly a week because it was a 9-day trip. Well, not nearly a week. And yesterday it really caught up with me. So I'd had a bit of sleep the last couple of nights. And then yesterday I had to get up at a reasonable time because basically, let me explain my car situation. So I was booked in to get an MOT on the day I got back. All fine, no problems. And then just before I went to Singapore, I was driving on the M40 and a big stone or something bounced off my windscreen, creating damage that definitely would fail the MOT. So my first thought was, right, let's get that fixed straight away before I go away, which was my plan. And unfortunately, the particular windscreen that I needed wasn't available in stock until the 11th of August, 2 days after I planned to get my MOT done. So I called the garage and explained the situation, and they were quite heavily booked, but they allowed me to move my MOT to the 13th. Sorry, for those of you outside the UK listening, MOT is basically an annual checkup your car legally has to have to be allowed to drive on the road once it's more than 3 years old, and that has to happen every year. It's normally not very expensive, and you don't always have, lots of work that comes out of it, but occasionally, obviously, you do. So that was messed up. So originally the plan was to have the car checked and the certificate issued on the 9th of August, which was before its previous MOT expired. But because I had to put it back to the 13th, the actual certificate expired on the 10th. Now, that's not a problem. It's not illegal to keep the car parked, but it is illegal to drive it once its MOT has failed, except to an MOT testing station. So basically I can't drive my car until I'm driving it to the testing station tomorrow. So it's just unfortunate timing really, because it's all a bit messed up, because if it had been done on the original day I'd wanted it to get done on, they would have had 4 or 5 days to order any parts. So if there was something that it failed on, and it's having a service as well. So if there was something it failed on, they would have had 5 days to get the parts in and get it sorted. So the reason it's now complicated is that yesterday I had the windscreen repaired and replaced, absolutely no problem, which means it will now pass it should now pass its MOT. It won't fail it on that. Now it's not until tomorrow, and then I'm flying on the 14th. So basically I've had to put provision in place for if my car fails tomorrow. So if it fails or they can't get a part in time, I need to get to work on the 14th, but I won't be able to have a car. So I sorted all that out. And then at about 4 o'clock yesterday, because of the jet lag, I felt a bit sleepy and went to sleep. And thought I'd wake up in reasonable time, and actually woke up at about 2 minutes to midnight. So yeah, that's why you didn't get a podcast yesterday. I'm so sorry about that. It wasn't my intention not to do one. It was my intention to explain all the bollocks around the car, to be honest. But so I didn't do any writing yesterday, and so that's what's going on with my car. So if it fails tomorrow or whatever, I then have to. I'm then away for a few days. I will use public transport to get to work, which means they then get a few days to sort it out. It's just a sod's law. Just the timing with that damage to the windscreen could not have been worse. But never mind, it's happened. There's a plan in place to cover every eventuality. So yeah. And then today I kind of woke up very, very early, then managed to go back to sleep. So I clearly needed the sleep, because I then got up about 6 o'clock. So I must have slept on and off for about 14 hours. So clearly I needed that catch up. So that's absolutely fine. And then I got up about 6 this morning. And today I've been listening to music a lot. So I have a vinyl build up of stuff that I've been intending to listen to, I hadn't got round to. So I listened to Lola Young's album, This Wasn't Meant For You. It was okay. I liked it, but the standout track was Messy. And then I listened to Olivia Rodrigo's first album. Surprised by how many songs I knew. Really enjoyed that. And just as I was about to think I'm not going to listen to any more, the new Pulp album called More, which starts with the track Spike Island, which was your homework to listen to, that arrived. So I've just listened to that. And that's a really good album. I really enjoyed that. Spike Island is the best track on it, but there are some others on there that are almost as good. Yeah, so I tried to do some writing this morning, so I've got my notes ready for the next chapter, and my brain has just rebelled and said, no, you don't want to do that. You're not in the mood to do that, so don't. So here is my cunning plan. It's not that cunning, actually. I'm not going to get any writing done today, and tomorrow is going to be complicated and messy, so I'm not going to attempt to do any tomorrow, so there's no point me doing a podcast tomorrow. And then I thought, well, actually, if you're not feeling, and bearing in mind I've done a lot in a very short space of time, I kind of decided that actually a little break is probably a good idea. So I'm not going to write tomorrow, and then from the 14th to the 16th, I'm on a trip to Philadelphia. I'm not going to write then either. So I'm going to have a little podcasty break now. I will be back on, let me just double check the date, but my intention is to be back the day after I get back from Philadelphia, which is Sunday the 17th. So thank you so much for listening. If suddenly I get the urge to write before then I will come back before then. But at the moment, the plan is to come back on the 17th. So thank you for listening. I will enjoy my break. I hope you enjoy your break from me. Take care. Bye-bye.
You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. For more information about what I'm writing, go to linktr.ee/Richard Writes, capital R, capital W, where you can find details of my website and social media. I may see you there.